Our out west adventure just keeps leveling up. We've hiked with moose in the Tetons, had a buffalo standoff in Yellowstone, soaked in an amazing Idaho hot spring, braved glaciers going to the Sun Road, and rolled through Montana like a rancher. And now, the Badlands. Sounds intimidating, right? Turns out it's more jaw-dropping than scary. Fun fact, the Lakota people called this land Makoshika, or land bad because of its harsh terrain. We're about to find out if they were right. We got the camper all set up and mentally prepared ourselves for a terrifying ride into the Badlands. Scary name, scary land. What could possibly go wrong?
All right, we're all set up and we are heading to the visitor center after we take a little round to the trash.
To start things off, we picked up our trusty tour guide.
If you're just tuning in for the first time in our Out West adventure, then you don't know about our Guide Along app, which I love. Let me show you what it looks like, and I have absolutely no affiliation with Guide Along, nor do I get anything from them. This is just really cool, and I think that you might be interested in. This right here is the Guide Along app. That's what it looks like. And we've been able to use it at the Grand Tetons, the Yellowstone. We've used it for the Badlands. We've used it for Glacier, for Beartooth Pass. And basically it's like Mount Rushmore. Basically it's like having a tour guide in your car, but you get to do it at your own pace. So we have it here for the Badlands. So we are going to be doing a little tour with our Guide Along app.
The cool thing about the Guide Along app is as you drive, you reach points and the GPS kicks in the commentary. So it just does it when you get there, which is really cool.
Turn left on Rifle Road. It looks like I would just push it and it would crumble and fall right over.
Sandcastles. All right, now as usual, we were able to get a Christmas ornament that has Badlands with a little prairie dog on it. And then also a sticker for the back of the camper that looks like a paintbrush for the Badlands.
But no sign. They didn't have any metal signs there. But that's why we have 3 things that we always look for, really 4. We look for the Christmas ornament, a sticker, a metal sign, and coffee. So chances are they'll have at least 1. And then we get to remember this great adventure we had.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a landscape that looks like this. Seems like sci-fi movie something, maybe the movie Dune, Surface of Mars, I don't know. It's just definitely completely different than anything I've seen. Very, very pretty. Hot too.
Really strange. What caused it?
The flood. After we arrived here on the surface of Mars, we quickly realized that the atmosphere is much like Earth. So the scientists were actually wrong. We can breathe just fine. And it's actually a moderate temperature at the same time. But, you know, this ground is just very rugged. But, you know, we're just thankful to Elon for getting us out here. And we're going to establish a new colony. So we're gonna get on that right now. All right, so we've made it back to our rover. So now we're going to continue to drive across the Martian landscape. Pay no attention to the people behind us.
They got to come too.
Yeah, we brought them just for fun.
Did you know the Badlands are one of the richest fossil beds in the world? Saber-toothed cats, rhinos, and ancient camels once roamed right where we're driving. Next up, we stopped at the Minuteman Missile National Historic Site.
This is the other stop on our tour of the Badlands, but
It doesn't look like it's open. I'm not sure if it's closed for the season.
dun dun dun!
Sorry, I was so rudely interrupted. I don't know if it's closed for the season or if it's just closed for the evening, but also you have to ask yourself this question. Did they really decommission all this stuff? Or did they just build a visitor center and decommission one to make it seem like that?
Then we headed out to meet some furry friends.
All right, we're gonna feed some prairie dogs while we're in prairie dog land. Let's feed some prairie dogs.
The prairie dogs. They're literally everywhere, popping up out of the ground like little whack-a-mole characters. Fun fact, prairie dogs aren't dogs at all. They're actually ground squirrels, and their bark is a warning call. Honestly, they were cuter than any dog park we've ever been to.
You need to not miss this spot because this is gonna be so much fun. But there are some rules to prairie dog feeding, so make sure you bone up on the rules.
Don't you eat my shoes. Toss one quickly so we have something to eat instead of me. I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Trying to look for a skinny one because
You ain't it.
you're not the skinny one.
You better be 9 months pregnant there, honey.
Oh my goodness. I think they get a lot of food, but they also are rolling around and fussing and fighting around here. Like, that's your bud? I'm gonna lie, this is super fun. That was a fabulous experience of feeding the prairie dogs. And I feel good about the fact that they tell you only to feed them what you purchase, the unsalted peanuts. I'm guessing that's good for them. The only thing that concerns me is the size of some of these prairie dogs, that maybe they're getting overfed just a tiny bit.
Our first hike was called the Door Trail. Sounds ominous, right?
So there's one basic area here that has all of the different trails that you can go on from here. Hopefully you can hear me because it's a little bit windy. But the 4 trails, there's the Door Trail, the Window Trail, the Ridge, is that right? And the Castle, I know that. The Rim? No. I don't know. Anyway, the thing about it, right now we're on the Door Trail, which is just about 3/4 of a mile, pretty short.
It's an easy walk that suddenly opens up into this alien-like landscape of eroded canyons and spires. It's like stepping onto another planet.
So a cool thing about here too that I think is cool, that's unlike most national parks, is you can go off trail. You can go anywhere you can get yourself. Anyway, so Kevin, climb that right there. Get out there.
Yeah,
go on.
that'll be a negatory.
Get out there and climb it.
The only climbing I'm going to be doing tonight is climbing into bed.
Boo.
So one thing is it all looks the same here. So apparently they've got these yellow trail markers pounded into the rock, which is good because you get away from this stuff a little bit and you won't know where you're at.
Except for I'm with a Ranger Kevin, so I should be fine. So the rock is a lot harder than you think it's gonna be. To me, it looked like you could touch it and it would just crumble, but it's hard.
Here on the planet of Tatooine, We like to take people on hikes to see Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And it was somewhere then. Don't look at me.
Now, one thing I would not want to do is be out here in the dark, because there's no light and this is a dark sky area. So you would be out of luck with figuring out how to get back. It's the Ridge Trail. I don't know what else I said, but I know I didn't say the Ridge Trail, so it is the Ridge Trail. There's the door, the window, the castle, and the Ridge Trail. And I believe tomorrow morning we're gonna do the Ridge Trail. Not the Ridge. Oh my gosh. I got it. It's the Notch Trail. I don't know what else I said, but it's definitely the Notch Trail. So there's the notch, the window, the door, and the castle.
The next morning, we took on the Notch Trail.
Good morning from the Badlands. You can see them behind me.
This one is a must-do.
I'm getting started on this trail by myself. Kevin's a bit of a dilly-dallyer, so I found that if I just go ahead and get started, he catches up. It's so weird here. It's like you're in just like some kind of other land in the middle of nowhere.
Almost like a different world.
It's also weird that you can just climb all over these. We're just not used to that. We're used to having rules. But you can just go wherever. And we get to climb that ladder.
You can see on this trail where if you tripped, it wouldn't be good.
Back there is the ladder that we just went on. Kevin's just gonna take a little break.
Bag sliding all over. Bad choice.
This is a fun trail with some fun stuff.
Fun fact, these formations erode at a rate of about an inch every year. That means the trail you hike today will look a little different in the future.
hoping this morning that we would get to see the sunrise. And we saw other people in the parking lot just kind of waiting. And so I guess they probably knew that you wouldn't get to see the sunrise on this particular trail, on the Notch Trail. But it doesn't matter. It was so epic anyway. And now we can kind of start to see the sun right in front of us. We're attempting to forge a new way back, which I'm always all about not having to just go in and out. But something tells me Kevin's trying to avoid anything with heights. Are we jumping?
No. All right, we're back to the original plan here.
We're just gonna climb up this and see. And for my very expensive Hokas that can climb the side of a mountain like a goat. And this is not a commercial for Hokas. We in no way get anything from Hokas. That was such a fun trail. I highly recommend it. Not very long, pretty short, but lots of fun. Just some fun climbing. So now we're gonna do a little bit more exploring of the Badlands before we finish this leg of our journey.
We just couldn't get enough of this bizarre, beautiful scenery.
What if the world had more of your smile?
We ended our time with a tradition roadside dining.
So if you've watched our other videos, you know that we always do some kind of, we usually do pizza, roadside pizza. But today, we're gonna do something a little different in the Badlands. We're gonna do Badlands breakfast.
Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
Let's just say nothing tastes better than eggs and bacon with a view that looks like Mars. Just when we thought the adventure was over, we made a stop at the legendary Wall Drugstore.
So we literally found the Buc-ee's of South Dakota.
Yeah. It's called Wall Drug.
It was like, yeah, it was maybe but bigger and more stuff to look at and no gas. But I would call it the Buc-ee's of South Dakota.
This place started in the 1930s, giving away free ice water to travelers, and now it's grown into a tourist wonderland with everything from homemade donuts to a giant T-Rex. Honestly, it was way more than we expected, and yes, we may have spent way too much money on souvenirs. The Badlands are mysterious, rugged, and stunning, like nothing else we've seen on this trip. They remind you that life isn't always what it seems. One moment you're in the prairie, and the next, a canyon swallows the horizon. And just like life, the Badlands teaches you to expect the unexpected. We're so grateful that places like this were preserved, so we can all experience them and be reminded of just how wild and wonderful our world really is. Get out there, have an adventure, and be free. See you in the next adventure.